Go ahead and send me the link so I can look at it.
Okay, I'll send you the link now. We're on
Come on.
YouTube. Hey guys, we're getting started here. Sending Nate the little linky. There we go. About to play some Dungeons and Dragons. That's not how you pronounce dungeons. Come on.
Come on, Danny.
We're all good.
We're good? We're good?
We're all good. I didn't realize you had actually started it, though, so I watched myself not know I was on camera for a bit there.
Oh, how was it?
Unnerving.
Got it. I like to imagine, Nate, that you did tell us you changed the roller skate butt painting, but I like to imagine that the painting you changed it to was the top half of the person who was like, you were looking at my butt that whole time.
Hold on a second. Do you want me to... Hold on.
I do. I'll introduce everybody else. It's Carrie. She's playing Cashinon. It's Scott playing Zep, 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 Zep in his imaginary friend shirt. Oh, yeah. Throwback, baby. Yeah, that fits. That looks exactly right.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sheila. She's Pando. What up, Pando?
What is up?
And it's Tina. She's playing Valerian, a Triton barbarian. Here we go. Hey, last time, 2 weeks ago, Mr. Lustig, you might remember, that we were on a boat. We're on our way to the Spine of the Serpent, which is a string of 6 islands on your way to Griff's Keep. And they're kind of like all lined up looks like a spine of a serpent would. You're on your way there. You are trying to land there, and on your way, you were just attacked by 2 manticores. You looked dicey there for a second until Zep fired an amazing guiding bolt straight down the gullet of one of them, turned the tide of battle, and you were able to kill one of the 2. You killed both of them, actually, and one landed on your deck. I believe that was Altor. You heard them talk to each other. It was Maribun and Altor. And Altor was the cocky one that was kind of feinting attacks at you and almost playing with you in a cat-like way. But he flew over the ship and to Halsdire, or Sailor Quentin, while on a boat. He cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which made him fall to the ship and in laughter, where you guys pummeled him relentlessly. And then I believe Cashinon registered both kills in this fight, bringing him back in, swooping him back in, and the dead body was then lifted and hoisted onto the ship. You are within distance of sight distance of landing at the Spine of the Serpent, the first set of the islands. You probably have maybe another few minutes before you get there, and you have this massive manticore body on the deck of the ship, and around its neck was an amulet that you have not yet investigated. And that is where we left off.
Well, gadzooks, that was quite a findangle there.
Zep, you threw a missile down its throat.
I don't know. I felt my hands get real hot there for a sec.
That was the hell of a prank.
Yeah, well, almost too much of a prank.
I mean, it saved us, I think.
I feel like I let the friendship circle down, you know? I feel like I just swing and a miss the whole time.
Pando, just, sometimes it's just not your day. I mean, you healed me.
Yeah, that's why there's a group of us, all right? We just pick up where someone else isn't paying attention. Guys, is Clatch looking at... Is he...
Clatch was impressed at times.
Okay, all right, cool.
So anybody who is particularly knowledgeable about the sort of stuff that might help here, we want to figure out what that amulet is. Is anybody particularly skilled in Arcana?
I have 3 points of Arcana.
Yeah, I would say if you are proficient in Arcana, you might be able to look at it. I would say if anyone's proficient in history or religion, you could also make a check in those regards. Just let me know what check you're making.
I have religion.
Okay, you can make a check.
I got.
That means
I'll do Arcana.
I roll, right? I got 20.
Shit.
Four.
Is that good? Did I break it?
Pando, as you're looking at it, there's nothing inherently magical about it, but you admittedly, like, there are runic symbols to it that you are like, maybe there's some magic here, but it's not really ringing any bells for you. There would be no... You don't know. You don't know if you put it on, if it would have any magical effect on you. You don't know. Kashanon, as you look at it, you've spent a fair amount of time looking at the amulet of the Plunder King that you found, and understanding that sort of thing, these holy symbols. You get a sense that there is probably something to do with the gods with this. You look at the symbols, and each of the gods' symbols is represented on this disc-like amulet. It's almost like a stone kind of circle, and there's like a spiral design in between. And you see the little symbol of the man in gray, which is just kind of like a shrouded figure, almost like very geometric. You see the Daon, the goddess of nature. You see her represented, which is the sprouting of a tree. It's just, again, very geometric. You see Torm, the god of order, which is just a hammer on its side. And then you see Calliope, the goddess of life, which is water droplet, on each of the corners of this. So you get a sense that this could be a religious device. And it's interesting. Most religions pick a god. It's rare. It does happen, but most people tend towards one or at least one half of the gods. It's happened before, but it's interesting to see that it's this symbol is to all of the gods. Sorry, say again.
How big is it?
Oh, it's pretty big. It's like maybe that big. Like it looks like an amulet on this large creature, but if you were to wear it, it would like be a little bit smaller than a Flava Flav clock. And you're not really sure, looking at it now, that it was like designed to be an amulet so much as it's just like that's how this creature was wearing it.
This has all the gods. This could be this. I've never seen anything like this. It's representing everyone in one place.
They're Unitarians.
Well, that's just blasphemous. We should throw it in the water.
No! It works so much.
Wow. No, I'm not taking it. I just offered advice to the group.
Well, I think the more blasphemous something is, the better it is to keep it, if I'm being honest. Keep it close to the chest.
Wow. Okay. That's blasphemy right there.
Well, I'm a blasphemous guy. That's fine. Listen, what do we want to try to cut off? Like, what do we think the most expensive parts of a manticore are?
Because I have no idea what you all were just talking about. I don't understand where the theming blasts are, like why something would be blasting. I don't know what theming means. I'm very confused.
Don't worry about it.
I do think that we should take some like teeth and maybe some claws. I think Kashanon might make some really nice jewelry out of them. I think maybe some hide and the wings would probably be worth something. I think as much as possible, And Clatch tends to like free meat, so I don't know if manticore is edible. I don't know if somebody wants to like look that up, but that might be a really great way to save some costs on food coming up. I am all for let's just make this happen.
So, on the food part, you would know that generally speaking, anything that can converse, it's not.
Should not eat.
Yeah, you get into cannibalism, and these things were able to talk.
Never
So
mind.
yeah, there's a certain threshold for that. Doesn't mean that people don't. And to your point, Clatch, it would probably just eat it, but he tends to be of a
Fish.
yeah, he would be a little bit more animalistic in that way. It would be right on the edge of acceptable for him to eat, but he would also know.
Take back the meat.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to, but I'm good. Take back what I said about eating.
Cool. But you could definitely. I mean, it's a monster, so parts of it certainly teeth, the scorpion tail, spines, the wings. All of those things could be fashioned into.
Would any of us know how to like make poison out of the tail, or the tail just through barbs? It's not poisonous.
Yeah, you didn't get any sense that these were poisonous. Anything that you want to try to use off of this creature, you would probably have to make a survival check to try to get it out. If you're just trying to like get teeth and stuff, like that's not a big deal. But if you're trying to get like a really precise cut on its wings or something like that, that would, there'd be a check involved with that.
I am not doing anything else until we land, so I am all for spending the time to take as much properly hided, like.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're not selling it until Griff sell me.
Yeah, I would say that you're about to land. You're like within minutes of landing. So what you're asking to do would probably take a little bit more time. This might be something that you would do if you had some downtime activity. Yeah.
How much time would it take to like really effectively secure it under like in this ship to like that it's not immediately gonna rot? I don't know how long. Are we trying to stay overnight here? I apologize, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's getting to be nighttime now. It's late afternoon, evening. So the idea was that if you're landing on the first island, which the currents kind of force you to do, then you'd probably be spending the night here.
On the boat, though, probably, right?
It's up to you guys. You don't know what the shore would look like. You can sleep on the boat, but it's not the most comfortable. It's all one room.
Comfortable wave breaker. It is comfortable. There are throw pillows.
You are biased, so yes, but it might not be the most. Generally speaking, if you can sleep off of a ship, people do.
I'm gonna go below and take off some of this makeup and costumes. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, should we try to rip out some of these claws and teeth real quick so we have stuff?
Okay, so we'll do that, and then I'll take some of the animal below deck for keeping.
Okay, I would say if you want to grab a tooth, roll a survival check to see if you can do that in the time it takes before. You'd probably only have a chance to grab at most a handful.
Who was rolling?
I just rolled. I got a 16.
Nice.
A 16? Okay, yeah. I'd say that like one of the front fangs you could pull out pretty easily. It's big.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah. You could it's like to the point where if you tied like a piece of driftwood to it or something like that, it could almost function as a pretty badass dagger. It's big.
Okay, I'll it down.
Okay. Yeah. So down in your sleeping quarters, Vlarin, takes this thing and she kind of hauls it. You can kind of like walk it over you, but its legs are kind of dragging behind. That thing it already smells pretty bad. If it starts to rot, things are going to get interesting. But it's down in the hull of your ship now.
Never mind.
Okay. So you do see now that Klatch is kind of saying like he is trying to steer the boat towards a shallower kind of cove of the beach. You seem to be coming in pretty steady. He seems to be pretty confident that the weather conditions are the way that they are. The tide is where it is. That you guys can get pretty close in to the shore. It looks like pretty ideal conditions. And he seems to be pretty happy with that. He kind of says as he comes in, it's like, I've heard when you travel past here that sometimes it can get a little rough, almost like the island fights against you with it. But she seems to be letting us in all right, so I think it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, well, is there a manticore on this island that wants to kill us?
When you're coming up to the island, you do see that there's like a tall spire that kind of comes out of the side. So if you're looking at the island, there's like this big tall spire, and then the cove that you're coming into kind of goes past that, and there's some rocks off to the side. There's just like a nice shallow sandy beach that's there. But you look up and there's a nest, and you can see like humanoid carcasses kind of hanging from the top up there. And you get the sense that like if a manticore were to nest, it would probably be in a place like that.
There's no signs of like young, right?
You make a perception check. You mean like manticore young?
Yeah, or
Make
like
a perception check.
18.
No. You see some claw marks and things on the side there. It doesn't look like... It looks like more of like a den of these two, but if there are young, they don't seem to be on that.
They were both male, the two that we killed, right?
You don't know. The one that you have, you would get a sense the one that you have is male. From carrying it the way that you did.
I was going to say, I feel like I would know.
Yeah. So Klatch sails the ship in. He asks a couple of you to just make some adjustments to the sail, but it's pretty easy. He kind of dives it in to the side, throws an anchor over, and it's to the point where like he throws a rope ladder over the side of it. You guys would climb down the side of it and would have to wade your way in the last little bit, just because if you got any closer, you would run ashore. But you're there. It seems pretty peaceful with your perception check, Blair, and you don't really see any danger there. And he says, well, we'll be pretty protected from any storms that might blow in over the night here. I'm going to stay on the ship. I don't go on land, but anybody who wants to, you can take your bedrolls and your camping supplies and maybe find your way up. And he points over. He's like, there's a little bit of tree cover up there. Might make for a nice nap.
I want to go toward those trees. It's
Great.
been a while, and I kind of need some me time with them. I feel like I've been off my game, you know? So that's my vote.
Oh, God.
I thought there's like a town here somewhere. Is that not true? With people who'd sell stuff, who bought and sold everything, and
That's where we're ultimately ending up. This is a stop on the way there.
it's a stop. I thought we arrived. I'm sorry. Now I'm the "are we there yet" person. Yeah, sure. I'd go into the trees too and lie down underneath them. It's a pretty night.
Are we directly under this nest?
You're off to the side of it, yeah. I mean, yeah.
You seem
Are you worried?
skeptical, Quentin.
Huh?
You seem nervous.
There's what looks like a manticore nest right there.
Yeah.
Well, we killed the manticores. Surely there aren't more manticores.
We saw a second one.
Well, we killed two. What?
No, we only killed one.
There you
No.
No, we
No, killed two. Oh. Ooh.
I think I would remember.
I killed 2 beasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully there's not one up there.
I can kind of still smell it, so I wouldn't mind taking a walk into some nature here.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll go with you.
Great. So you guys are disembarking?
I'm gonna stay on, and is it like, tell me about the moon.
The moon?
Tell me about light. How much light?
Oh, I mean, the sun's going down. It's later, but it might be doing that thing where like the moon's kind of up in the sky. But I mean, it looks like this kind of place, it'll be pretty dark. You would probably want to take like a light spell or some torches or things like that. But
well, I would like to carve up this manticore before it makes my very comfortable wavebreaker very smelly. So I think that means my options are to haul it off the boat and go with everybody, or to stay on the boat and put it up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys. If you would know that if you cut that thing open, it's gonna get pretty dang bloody on the ship. So, Clatch doesn't care. He kind of likes the smell of that kind of stuff. But
I would do it up on the deck where it's washed.
Up to you guys. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do with it.
What are What's Bats and Floppy McFopster doing?
Yeah, so What's Bats is kind of looking at the manticore, and as you brought it down, he's kind of like, wow. He kind of like walks around it, kind of looks at it, and he's like, I've never seen a beast like this before, and that was pretty impressive. And he like kind of picks up its paw, and he's just kind of like investigating it. He's really interested in it. Rowan, the chef, is like keeping her distance, kind of like preparing a few things, but like keeping an eye on it. She seems pretty disconcerted by it. And Arnold Chesterweather is also, he's got to like roll an insight check actually on that.
A natural 19, so 21.
Yeah, so he's sitting there. He rolled a 2 on his persuasion check. He's like, I've felled beasts many times like this before, and he's trying not to.
You have not.
But he's very afraid of this thing. Yeah, but he's going on and on about it. That's your reactions there. As you guys say that you're getting off the boat, Arnold and Whatspats both say they'll probably come. Rowan and Clatch are not going to.
I think I'll stay on the boat then, on the deck, and I will spend the evening cutting up the manticore.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, you take it up. You can kind of do that. We'll get to your check a little bit later on that then, but I'll ask you to roll a survival check to see what you can harvest from that. And I'd say Clatch would help you with that. He'd be able to help you with that. So those of you who are leaving the boat, Arnold and Whatspats come with you. You make your way down the rope ladder into the sand and the water. It's nice. It's warm. And as you come down, it's kind of like it's peaceful. It's a tropical island. You can see sprouting on the edge of the beach a lot of coconut trees. And as you get closer, there's like a little bit of like kind of a jungle-like forest on the edge there. You make your way up into the beach, and pretty much the first thing that greets you is a large stone obelisk in the middle of the beach, very purposefully fashioned and carved, that 4 sides, kind of like a square pillar almost. and it has etching and writing on each side, and runic symbols that match some of the ones that you saw on the amulet that you got.
Do I roll something to explore it more?
No, you can walk up to it. You can look at it. You don't really need to read it. It's investigate it. It's meant to be that. But in many different languages, it had. How many languages do you speak, Kashnan? Common, Elvish, and Deep Speech.
Deep Speech, Dwarvish, Elvish.
Okay, you would see in Common, Dwarvish, and Elvish, definitely it's written. And you know enough about those languages to know that the exact same thing is said on each of them. And the inscription reads, "Welcome, truants, to these shores. If your purpose be true and sure. If your heart be full of vice, offer now your sacrifice."
Sacrifice.
I feel like this island can tell if we're bringing good or bad.
Well,
we're good, right? Right?
I mean, that's, relative, I think. I'm not sure how the obelisk gets to judge that. I'm not sure what standards it's using or what sort of value system it operates on.
Philosophies this person ascribes. Yeah, there's a lot of factors up in the air.
I'm going to say sacrifice. Not my favorite word. Do you think this is a blood sacrifice sort of thing?
What is your favorite word, Sailor Stanton?
My favorite word?
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. I'll think about this.
Okay.
Good question.
Thank you.
What bat says mine's bivouac?
Oh, what bat? You're amazing.
Oh.
Hold on. So, hey, I think I'm an all right fella, but I know goblins can be a little bit hairy sometimes. So, you think I'm best going back to the boat, or do you think? What do y'all all think of me coming down here? It seems pretty clear it's written in Goblin there too. That maybe I should be.
Well, if it's written in Goblin, it's asking you to, if your intent is true, it seems to think that goblins can have good intent.
Well, I don't know what. I guess my intent is to explore and maybe find some trinkets to collect. I don't intend on stealing them from anybody or anything. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is okay.
I think you're safe. I do.
All right. Now, sacrifice. What do we think that's all about?
I got an idea. See, now, this obelisk, it's bothering Whatbat clearly. It's also blasphemous. I say we burn it, and it doubles as a sacrifice.
Wow.
Do you think attacking the obelisk will show that we have good intent to it?
I don't know, but it's clearly like a supporting all the gods. That's insane. That's insane.
I feel like we kind of made a big statement already by killing 2 of the island's inhabitants, like right offshore. Definitely. I don't know. I kind of want to just like slip into this island, not really cause a stir, not really start a fire unless we need one for survival. Just like.
Do we have anything we can sacrifice?
Well, at this point, Arnold speaks up. That's a good point. I wonder if perhaps the manticores were a problem on this island, and perhaps your sacrifice has been accepted, and then perhaps somebody who may have accidentally dabbled in slavery wouldn't have to worry about an obelisk.
Yeah, we'll vouch for you. We'll vouch for you.
Or do you think I should go back to the boat?
Yeah, you should get on the boat. Yeah. You should probably sleep somewhere real uncomfortable on it, too.
I mean, if I'm being totally honest, if push comes to shove, I'm going to put the friendship group in front of you, so I can't. And Whatbats.
All right, well, I think that's a bit unfair. I think I've But if all of you think that it's best, I can go and retire to the boat.
I don't want to see you get hurt, and if you're unsure that your intent is good, then I would. It's not us; it's the obelisk.
Yeah, it's not us that don't want you around.
Right,
it's the obelisk that hates you.
Hope you all have a restful evening. If you care to grab me a coconut, I wouldn't say no. And he wades his way back in, kind of daintily into the water, and climbs the rope ladder back onto the boat.
It's amazing for how much I love Whatbat. I hate Arnold in about equal measure. It's amazing.
I find it hard to believe he got you guys into barrels, I gotta say.
We couldn't believe it till we were in them.
It was shocking.
I think the shock would probably begin, after you were in the barrels. I believe that's when
everything leading up to it. You didn't know which way the wind was going to blow, and then suddenly we were in the barrel. It blew my mind.
Just babes in the woods. No clue what's happening.
It was a nice cruise before that.
It really was.
Maybe you can give some tips to Valerian and Clatch. Listen, the obelisk. Am I the only one concerned about the sacrifice? Do we think that the manticore was a sacrifice?
I thought it was only asking for a sacrifice if we did something wrong after we were here. Did I misunderstand that?
Let's read it again.
Okay.
Okay, it says, "Welcome, truants, to these shores. If your purpose be true and sure. If your heart be full of vice, offer now your sacrifice."
Yeah. You're right. It's if we're Oh, I guess Arnold could have come. He just needed to, I don't know, draw some blood or something.
Well, to be honest, I think it's better without him.
Okay. I believe in redemption. Also, frankly, if one of us is going to die on this journey, do we want it to be Whatbat?
No.
Well, I certainly. Y'all think about doing stuff that might get. I told you before, I ain't much of a fighter. I'm here for.
That's what I'm saying. I want to protect you. I don't like the idea of anything bad happening to you. That's what I'm saying.
Very kind. I've grown a little fond of y'all myself. That's very nice.
Oh.
Well, I say I will play a song when we get to sing everybody to sleep tonight. When we get there. But let's go ahead and get to those trees.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were already there.
I thought we were still on the beach.
Yeah, you walk your way up the shore a little bit more to the grove of coconut trees. Can I have everyone please roll a perception check?
Perception.
Off to 14.
10.
I got a 5 total.
8.
Okay. You guys make your way up into the grove of trees. Seems really nice. I mean, the sea breeze is kind of blowing in. You can hear some tropical birds singing from the trees. You can see some crabs scuttling. I mean, it's a really peaceful island, and it's kind of neat to get the sense that nobody lives immediately here, which is kind of cool for a second until you walk into the trees and you notice that in among the trees are little kind of bamboo huts that are built. You kind of look in the windows of each of them and the side of them, and they seem to be here in this almost kind of semicircular clearing of trees. You kind of walk in through the first pathway of under a few canopies, and then there's this little ring of huts and tents and things that are there, and they're empty. They just look like open bungalows with little beds stationed with them. It looks, yeah. What'd you see?
Puzzling.
Where there are trees, there is always goodness. And look at this. Shelter for the night.
Yeah. That's true. I wonder who lived here before.
Can we? I'd like to look in one of these huts and like investigate a little bit.
Yeah,
See what...
Zep, go ahead and roll an investigation check. You can go to one of the ones near you.
Yeah. Investigation. I'm rolling it. Oh, total an 18.
Oh, great. Okay, so immediately looking at the hut, as you walk up to it, you notice that there are little pieces of artwork and things that are like painted on stones. And with an 18 investigation check, you kind of look at it and you realize these have been painted. They were painted a long time ago, but they've been updated. The paint has been restored on the one that you're looking at. The depiction is of two men. One a shorter, stouter human shape, and one a kind of equally tall, not short for an elf, but about average size, slender elf-like figure. These two men seem to be together building a hut and creating a thing together. And as you look into the hut, you notice that there's like a window built for it. There's a little cot that's created. It seems to be swept recently, but it's very bare. You don't see anything else inside of it. There's like a little table and a clay cup and a clay bowl that are left there. But it looks like it's kept, but it's also very sparse. It looks like there are no personal effects for anyone that would be here.
Yes, this is odd. It looks like people may be taking care of this place, but like there ain't a lot of like interest in there aren't a lot of personal stuff in here.
And looking around at the other huts, you see each of them have artwork outside of them similarly as well. They have
the picture of the two guys?
If you walk over to them, you look at another one, and it is it's a picture of the two guys again, but this time they are like they seem to be praying together. They're both kneeling, and above them are a depiction of each of the four gods, and they're holding hands together as they pray.
This sure seems like blasphemy.
Again,
I don't love it.
It's like they can't make a decision here who to pray to.
I mean, it's kind of nice that, maybe it's an idea that uniting all of the beliefs together create some sort of community or connectivity or peace.
Is it nice, though?
When you think about it, all religions really point back to the same general premises, right?
What?
Could the people here have they actually get along? They're not fighting over who to honor or who to...
That coexist bumper sticker,
Yes, the bumpers that are on boats.
The bumpers of boats. Everyone has those
on carts
stickers on them.
Yeah.
Stickers, paintings that say coexist on the bumpers of the boats. That could be this.
I thought those were jokes. I thought, who would possibly do that?
Well, I'll be honest, I was worried, but it kind of seems welcoming. It doesn't seem like a violent mate. Like, I was worried this could be a sacrificial area, that maybe they set it up for people to sleep in and then be murdered as some sort of sacrifice.
You are very hung up on the sacrifice.
It really is your least favorite word.
Did we go back? Are you going to be able to...
I may have... Listen, people have offered... Bards get offered up as sacrifices a lot, okay? I cannot stress this. If there's a group of people and they're like, we need a sacrifice, people are like, the bard, the one singing. It's a classic. So
as you say that, Hallsdyer, you hear from out in the woods, the Bard.
Whoa. What was that?
What was that?
Wait a minute. Pando, do you know any sort of animal that might do any repeating or copying?
Let me take another listen.
Listen.
Maybe you roll a nature check.
Nature or perception?
Perception.
Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's see what I get. Yes! I'm back, bitches. I have a 24.
Okay. When
Pardon
you
my
say
French.
listen, and it says, you hear back, listen, and you look, and from peeking around a tree, you see a short, stout, little humanoid figure, and it's wearing a cloak over its head, but there's like a little tuft of hair kind of like flipped up out the side there. A large black beak moving down, and feathered arms kind of wrapping there, flapping from behind the tree, and it locks eyes with you as you say it, and in the same exact tone, the same thing that you just said. It says, listen! And it kind of like bristles its feathers there and walks out into the open.
Okay, and to test what just happened again, I say...
You, I don't know. You might have covered your mic.
Ooh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, now I know where my microphone is. Okay, to test what just happened, I say sacrifice out loud.
Okay, and it looks and goes, sacrifice.
Out loud.
Okay. Whoa.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Do you have other friends out there?
Other friends.
Is it a little bird man?
Birdman?
I think it's making fun of us.
I don't think it is, Zep. I think it's just repeating what's here.
Oh, hey, you take that back.
You take that back.
No, you take that back.
You take that back.
Oh, don't. Oh, I'm getting over that. I'm going to get in his face.
Whoa. Easy, Zep. Easy.
Zep, cool down.
He started it.
Cool down.
He's a bird.
You get on my back. What? You hear this guy?
The Birdman. He's the Birdman, okay? Just hold on. Hold on, all right? I'm going to play a little song for the bird. I want to see if he can repeat it.
Okay.
I just pull out my pan flute and do a real quick, like, do-do-do-do-do.
Okay, as you do that, it, like, opens its mouth almost like in a whistle, and it repeats back exactly the tone that you're playing.
Oh, that's neat.
Hey, bird. All the single ladies?
All the single ladies?
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies?
All the single ladies.
What's
all the
that?
single ladies?
I don't get it.
What?
What?
Put your hands up.
Can you say blasphemy?
What? Yeah, but
Blasphemy.
who? The bird?
The bird. Blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, okay, now I'm liking him a little more.
He, the figure kind of walks up closer to you all, and then in this kind of deeper, older voice, it says, "Welcome, true, to these shores. If your purpose be true and sure, if your heart be full of vice, offer now your sacrifice."
I think we just real quick need a clarification on what kind of vice you're talking about, because we all like to party. we all have a good time, but we all have good intent here on the island. We mean no harm at all.
You could say our vice is being good. That's our vice.
Good.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we're okay then.
I think he was just repeating. We submit to your judgment.
Is this bird's judgment?
Yes, the bird's judgment.
All those who seek good are welcome here.
Well, we
Of
We
the
seek
fruit.
good. We seek good.
eat
Tell
of the
them
food.
this if you see travelers. Tell them. Tell them that they are welcome here. Gesture with your wing. Tell them that they can stay. Stay in any one of these places. Keep these places clean in case anyone does decide to stay.
Okay, I'm picking up what's going on here. Okay, well, it looks like whoever is keeping this place for guests has sent his friend, the Birdman, here, and he's repeating what he was told by him. So, seems like we're kind of in good. Looks like a safe place.
Hey,
Safe place.
hey, bird. Who told you this?
Not sure he's capable of actually talking.
Well, bird. Who told you this?
If you see
That-
anything concerning, come on back to good old Phil. He'll help you out. Yeah, come on back, little Babble, and we'll help you out if you have any problems. There's Phil and Baco right over here.
Phil and Bosco. Okay, well, Babel, thank you very much.
Phil and Baco.
Phil and Baco.
Barco?
Phil and Baco.
Marco?
Phil and Baco.
Okay. Where are they? Where's Phil and Barco?
That's the furthest one away from it so far, I think.
Where's Phil?
Bill, I think it's Bill, right with a B.
Remember that there are some secrets that and are best kept.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Well, thank your masters for us, and thanks.
Ooh. What?
Ooh. And he dances. He does what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Okay, so now I feel like that was kind of playing with my mind. Do we feel like that was a good welcome, a true welcome, or are they trapping us
Good
in here?
welcome. True welcome.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, just shut up, bird. Shut up.
Hold on, don't antagonize the bird. He's going to report back to his people. Thank you, bird. Thank you very much. Because remember,
It's
he will
nice
literally.
to bring them fruit. And he walks
Oh,
away.
okay.
I wanna follow the bird
Okay, I'm gonna say.
at a discreet distance.
Okay. You can. Are you trying to be stealthy about following him?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be stealthy about
Okay.
it.
Roll a stealth check.
All right, you got it. Stealth. Oh, I'm not very good at that. Oh, but I rolled good. 16.
Okay. You follow the bird into the jungle. It's very clear that he knows the entire time that you're following him. He's watching. He doesn't seem concerned, but he's just like climbing up into like he goes off into some bushes and things, and you notice he has like a little pouch, and he's gathering and like plucking with his beak some berries. He climbs up and shakes a couple of trees and grabs a couple of coconuts. He seems to be gathering food.
Okay.
I'm stealthier. Can I also follow? See if
Yeah, you can roll a stealth check as well if you want to try to follow.
Ando, are you and I sitting back at the camp still?
I'm down. Yeah, I need
27.
27.
27. Yeah.
You kind of flank, and you see that this bird is very concerned with Zep. The bird, you're pretty sure the bird has not looked over at you at all. But you have a pretty good angle on it, and you get pretty close to it. But it is just gathering food. You can hear it kind of singing a tune to itself. But the tune is interesting. It is just like it's like kind of deep in its voice box. It's singing to itself, but you notice that the song it's singing are different sounds of nature that it's mixing together. And it's like this interesting mix of like a babble of water running over rocks with like a monkey chirp and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty interesting and strange, but it's beautiful, and it's all just kind of like from in the throat of the creature. Okay. The two of you back at the camp, you can look around if you want to. You do notice that there are other paintings. There are a few other huts. There are probably 6 to 7 total. And they're all just kind of made of bamboo, and all of them are fairly sparse. But if you'd like to look at some of the other paintings, you can.
Sure, I'll take a look at a couple of the other paintings, but I also want to say to Pando, I don't know why they're following this bird. I think it's just going to bring us food.
Yeah, it really just feels like a messenger to me. He didn't really have anything very interesting to say, obviously.
Literally,
what you were saying.
His name was Babel. I got the impression that literally all he could do is repeat what other people said.
I do wonder who he reports to, but we'll figure that out later. I'm hungry, so hopefully it brings back something good.
Yeah.
So you guys are looking around. You see a couple more of these little stone tablets with paintings on them. One of them is the painting of these two men seemingly in an embrace. And there's like a sunset on the ocean behind them, and a wreath of trees over them. The trees are like bountiful with like all sorts of fruits. And as you look closer, you notice that 4 of the fruits toward the top take on the symbols and the look that you would recognize from the gods that are looking in lovingly on the creatures, on the two there. There's another one that shows the human lying in a bed of flowers with the elf standing over him, and his head kind of down on the chest, and you can see the leaves falling around them. And there's one last portrait of the two. There are 2 trees that are growing up from the side of what looks like to be a doorway with a circle in the center. The 2 trees are up, and you see humanoid figures silhouetted in each of the trees.
Can I look closer at like what kinds of trees these are in the paintings and what they might symbolize?
Mm-hmm. Sure. The last 2 trees that you see on that one that I just described are coconut trees. But they're different from what you've seen. They're kind of like a hybrid, almost jungle-like tree, but they definitely bear coconut-looking fruit. One of them is very stocky and knotted, and that's the one with the human silhouette in it, and the other one is very kind of light and kind of almost greener, and that's the one with the elf silhouette in it. The awning that you saw in the one with them standing there, you would know that it's a very intricate knotted pattern, and it's not a particular tree, but in your culture and druidic cultures, it's often a symbol of vines and intertwining of marriage, of human and humanoid bonds to one another that they would knot together.
So, are they married? Are they?
Looks like it. I mean, as a half elf myself, this is, brings about mixed feelings. I wish this happened more often. Lots of times it's just, hit it and quit it situations on either side, such as my situation,
But marriage is about sacrifice. Sorry.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I don't plan on getting married. I mean, maybe that means I'm not, willing to sacrifice.
Quentin, from your personal history, you would know too that sometimes what complicates an elf and human relationship is that an elf's lifetime supersedes a human's, drastically so. Humans at most would live to be about 100, same as ours in modern, in our lifetime. And elves can live to be like 400 to 600.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic story. But, it's a nice thought. Sort of a pipe dream. But maybe
we're gonna cut back to Valerian on the ship real quick, and then we'll come back to you guys here just because enough time would have passed. Valerian, you can be pretty forearms deep into this thing. If you're what are you trying to cut out of it? What are you and Clatch trying to do here? You're muted.
Yeah, definitely teeth and claws for jewelry making. And I'm envisioning a friendship bracelet, kind of look, we're in the crew together thing, but then also to maybe sell, right? Kashanan has sold most of her jewelry already to get us stuff, so trying to just build that up. But then presumably hide, head, and wings and tail would fetch money. I don't know how much I would know specifically about any of that, but I'm thinking about what would sell.
Sure. So Arnold comes back on the ship while you guys are in the middle of this, and he says, "There's a rather concerning obelisk on the beach. I decided that I'm going to spend the night on the ship. The rest went into the beach a little bit further. I'll be downstairs if anyone needs me."
Did they seem okay? Do they need help with?
It said something about nice people can stay, but if you're bad, you've got to sacrifice. I didn't want to sacrifice. I'm not sure if I'm bad. It's complicated. Are there still packed lunches downstairs? Could I?
Rowan's downstairs. She doesn't want to help with this. Do you want to help with this?
Well, maybe I'll be up in a bit. I just would. I have a few things to think over. I'll certainly, in a few minutes, I'll definitely come up and help. Absolutely,
You're lying to me, right?
You can roll an insight check, but I don't think you need to.
Just so you know, Arnold, you don't have to lie. You could just say no, you don't want to help. That's okay.
I don't want to help.
That's fine. Go down, Rowan. Have a nice throw pillow. Rowan has maybe some hot beverages.
Excellent. That sounds wonderful.
Good night.
You and Clatch are kind of digging away at this thing. You can roll a survival check.
Advantage, how many? Give me.
Yeah, I'd say with advantage because he's helping you.
21.
Okay, it's going pretty well. You're taking teeth out, you get a hang of it. There's a couple things where it's I can cut a little bit deeper and get under the root and get it better. Those sorts of things happen, and you're kind of just going away. Clatch is taking the hide off. He seems to be doing this sort of thing. He kind of suggests hey, once we get everything valuable off this, I think maybe we should just heave-ho this thing. I don't know that we need it rotting up the boat.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Clatch, I was just wondering how I brought all of these paying customers onto your boat.
Nobody's paid yet.
I paid you the 35 for Arnold.
Okay, well, he paid.
But I can pay you. It's not a problem. But I was just wondering what you thought of them, or how were you impressed? I think they certainly earned their keep fighting off those manticores.
I thought most elves can use a bow, but the one that was standing near me did not use a bow very well. I think
That's a fair.
it's always helpful to have a cleric on the ship in case something happens, and especially a cleric that can attack like that is pretty impressive. The bard
Agreed. Anybody else that you noticed?
I thought that the other elf was quite effective. I have never seen anyone take down manticores in quite that fashion. I was impressed.
2 questions following this. Have you ever seen anyone take down a manticore?
No.
Okay. And when you say impressed, were there any other feelings that went with being impressed?
I enjoyed watching her slay a beast.
Clutch. You romantic.
Are you going to go into the beach tonight, or are you going to stay on the boat?
I'm gonna see what time it is when we finish this up. I was thinking that maybe I would see if there are any sea creatures over the side of the boat who wanted to eat this, or if any of them could like spout. If there were sea creatures nearby who could spout and fill my bucket, and we can help.
Probably won't finish this before we lose light, unless we want to have a torch and light it up. But I think we'll probably be okay to start this again in the morning. It's not going to rot that much. We might get a few seagulls, but it won't be a big problem. If we get the hide off, they won't bother with the tail or anything. I think chumming is a good idea. I'll chum the water a little bit, and I'll jump down there and I'll make sure that I can get us some fish.
Well, remember, I can also ask them to do things. So I think between the 2 of us, we can.
That's a good idea. Do you think it's
a great plan, Flash?
Okay, that's great. Let's do that. I think it's important that your team gets protein tonight. Especially that elf expended a lot of energy.
She sure did. It's really nice of you to think of her. And so you want me to take the fish over to them?
Yeah, if you don't mind later. But we'll finish up.
Not at all. But Clatch, can you also keep an eye on Arnold? I know he already paid, but you might just want to make sure that he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't seem to me to be the type that is effective at many things.
That is fair, but he did also manage to put people in barrels and sell them to goblins, so he sometimes lucks out.
Understood.
Thanks, Clatch.
Thanks, Larry. And we'll cut back to our shore party.
And you'll let me know. So presumably I'm catching up with them at some point.
Yeah, when the light dies, I would say that you would make your way there. So we'll probably, we'll see another little bit of stuff happen here, but then once everybody starts to kind of get towards bedding down for the night and eating, you would be on your way over.
Yep, let me know when.
Yep. So at this point, for you guys, the creature that you saw before with the little tuft of hair and the cloak starts to make his way back to the camp, for those of you who are watching him there. You do notice on his way back, another one of these creatures is up in a tree and calls out to this creature. But the call that it makes, both of you roll a nature check for me, please.
Nature. $15.
5.
Zep, you recognize this immediately. It sounds exactly like a waterfall cascading into water. Like, exactly like a short burst of that there. And as the creature hears that, it looks up and it responds in kind with a... It's like a tropical bird sound that you've kind of been hearing there. And then there's like a series of like clicks and then you hear the term visitors from the one up in the tree. And the one down below nods and says, when someone asks you a question and you want to answer an affirmative, most creatures will notice a nod as yes. And then the other creature up above says, the nod as yes. And then makes its way there. And then he just kind of like starts making his way.
Oh,
Back.
bird.
Zep,
Is Phil on this island?
Phil.
uh, he says, when you nod your head, most creatures will accept that as yes.
Oh, that's probably yes. Which direction is Phil?
He thinks for a second, and he makes the sound of like birds in the morning, like.
Confusing. Will you take me to Phil?
It's Bill. Bill
Take
Baco?
me to
Is that
Phil.
That's what I'm saying, Phil.
Take me to Phil. If you shake your head, most creatures will notice this to mean no.
Oh, dag nabbit. All right, I'm heading back to camp. I've done my best. I'm at my wit's end.
Wits end.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to rub it in.
Rub it in.
No, I said don't rub it in.
Rub it in.
No, stop
You're
it.
playing a game. You're playing a game you're gonna lose.
That's right. It gets under my
start
skin.
Talking, catching on, the bird like bristles for a second. Had no idea you were there, and then just kind of like shrugs it off and then walks back. When he gets back to the camp and you guys are following, it starts to there's like a common area table over to the side. It starts to lay out the fruit for you and gather bowls and starts to make bowls for each of you. At this point, the sun is starting to set, and Valerian, I would say that you could follow the tracks decently enough and Arnold's direction to be making your way into camp at this point, too.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
I'm
Valerian.
here.
I brought some
All the
fish
single
for
ladies.
dinner. I'm sorry?
All the single ladies? What's
Yes,
that,
I'm
looking-
single.
Oh, that's we made a friend, and he seemed they were singing some a song to him, and he learned it. And the bird
that's
says, "Learned it."
Job.
Good job.
Way to go.
You notice that it tries to give a thumbs up, but it's a wing, so it's just like a.
Good job.
Valerian, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Is everything okay? Arnold said something about an obelisk and sacrifice, but he seemed to think you were fine, which is why I didn't hurry. But then Clutch wanted me to bring these fish.
The creature walks over to you, Valerian, and reaches out to grab the fish, the basket of fish that you have, and says, "Welcome, truant, to these shores. If your purpose be true and sure, if your heart be full of vice, offer now your sacrifice."
I don't understand.
Oh,
Understand.
She's with us. She's good.
She's good.
I brought fish.
It takes the fish from you and bows and makes its way over. And the other bird that you had seen in the trees now comes out, and it's carrying some firewood, and there's like a little bonfire area. They start to prepare that. This bird starts to, the one you first met, starts to strip the fish, seems to be preparing it for you, and comes back over and says, "It's nice to offer for your guests to sit down," and then walks back over and keeps preparing.
It's like hanging out with a Radiohead album. So the
Don't
high
understand.
praise compliment.
a '90s Radiohead album specifically, I guess. Zep, did you find out where this bill is?
I don't. Phil, I don't know. He wouldn't. The bird. She wouldn't take me there. So I don't know where Phil is.
Hey, Babel. Where is Bill and/or Phil?
It makes the sounds like birds in the morning, like a bunch of birds singing in the morning.
The east? Is it on the? He's on the east of the island. East side.
East.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that the bird knows how to like nod or like shake its head to say yes And no.
Oh, well, that's good. Yes or no questions. That really actually helps us know how to communicate with the bird.
Can Pando hear what kind of birds those might be that you're mimicking?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Go ahead and roll a nature check.
20.
Great. With that, you would know that these are birds that are particularly native to rainforest-esque canopies. They're not shorebirds; they are jungle birds. And they would be singing in the morning, probably on some cycle of the sun up high there. So, with that, you can get maybe a clearer picture of where these people
Where they're
might
coming
be.
from.
Yeah.
I think he's answering to someone deep in that forest. I feel like we got to go in.
It's
Okay.
not right now.
No, I'm happy to rest tonight. Or relax.
Relax.
Yeah. I say we take the bird's suggestion and hang out, eat food, and go to sleep.
Eat, drink, and be merry,
Hey, I like that.
My name's Blaren. I know you're really hung up on your friend Mary, but I'm Blaren.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't bring her up all the time.
You bring her up all the time.
A lot.
I said it's a homonym. I said Mary, Merry.
I know, but otherwise, we're not the ones who bring her up all the time. It's still you.
At this point, you notice that Whatsbats has gone over to the little bird creating the food, and he's kind of saying like, "Well, I know they can be a bit strange, but yeah, the one that you talking to knows stuff about the birds. Well, she's got a little flame. I think she's a little hung up." And he's just like telling the bird about you guys and just making conversation. It seems to be like helping make food and such. Yeah.
Aw.
I'm going to start playing some background music just at camp. Sit down and I'm gonna have a joint going and just start plucking a lyre.
As the night wears on, and you are playing that, a couple of the birds come in, and some of them mimic your song, and then you notice like more of these birds. By the end, 4 of them, the 2 that you've seen and a couple more, come out, and each of them, the first one you met was in kind of like a gray cloak, one of them's in a bluer cloak, one's in a green cloak, one's in like an orange cloak, and they come out and they listen to your songs, and then you start to notice that they start to round with your music. So one might play a melody that you played like 2 songs ago, but then kind of notice that it goes with what you're doing here, and they're kind of like making the exact same sounds and then moving that in. And then like as they're doing this, they're like sweeping and prepping things for you. They're tending to the fire. So you can talk to any of them as you're doing this, but they seem to be just kind of serving you in this moment.
Can I sit next to Kashanon, please?
Mm-hmm.
So, how was the walk into the woods?
Good, not bad. I mean, that one guy ran off and ran to the boat. I'm kind of glad.
I feel a little bad for Rowan. She's I think going to have to bear the brunt of Arnold.
Yeah, she seems like she can handle some unpleasant people. So
yeah.
But yeah, we should like bring her a present or something for dealing with him.
That's not a bad idea. Speaking of, we did, Clutch and I got all of the claws and teeth off the manticore. We were thinking that maybe you could make some jewelry out of it that like for us, and maybe you can give one to Rowan, but also to like sell or trade or those kinds of things. I don't know. I don't want to like take up your evenings moving.
No, I would love to. That would make me feel more like myself, honestly. I feel like there's a lot of bloody killing we just went through, so anything to calm down. I would love to make some jewelry and just listen to the sounds of the forest and just, or the wherever we are, and calm down.
Jungle, you have that beautiful moon stuff from the store.
Yep,
and
that
I
moon.
remember because it was like 2 days ago.
Oh, it feels like weeks, Blaren. It feels like
So much has happened.
weeks. I'm physically and mentally exhausted. But yes, I have this moon stuff, and I want to. I think I was already envisioning it looking really good with some of those little claws.
Oh, I think that would be awesome. I also, Clatch and I were, elbows deep in, manticore flesh. We were chatting, and he just mentioned to me that he was pretty impressed with your fighting.
Shut up. Wait, he said impressed?
He said impressed. He said that he thought you did a really good job and that he was very impressed with the elf. We're working on your name, but he definitely he definitely noticed how in battle.
He does not seem like the kind of guy who says that he notices anything. I mean, you know him. Does he even?
I would definitely agree. Usually he just notices when people aren't good at things. He doesn't give a lot of compliments. For example, he noticed that Arnold seems to be not good at anything. But he noticed, he went out of his way to talk about how impressive you were in combat.
Wow. That makes it all worth it. I mean, that and us like living and being safe.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all actually, that was done. It's all worth it. I can't even think. I'm going to make so much jewelry tonight. I'm so excited. Thank you for telling me that. That's
no problem.
To make him something cool.
Yeah. I think you'd really like that.
Really? Okay.
Just as long as it doesn't get in the way. He's very utilitarian, so it's got to be something that like either is useful or is like not going to get in the way of him fishing and running the boat.
Ooh, okay. I've never had a challenge like that before. It's all ornamental. Okay.
While they've been talking, I've been working with a group of birds, and I'm playing single ladies on the lyre, and I have them all doing a coordinated dance routine to it.
You, two of them are definitely working. You do have two of them who are, it is amazing. It does not take much. Like, as soon as you show them the move once, they got it. And they're ready to go. Cashionette, are you making jewelry now?
Yes, I'm starting
While you start that, as the night wears on, the one in the blue cloak, who you had seen out in the jungle and had the conversation, comes over and watches what you're doing, and then steps away for a second and comes back with like little twigs and things that are roughly the shape of what you're doing, and like mimics exactly what you're doing, and also makes alongside, like, when you make a mistake, it makes the mistake, and then when you correct the mistake, it corrects the mistake, and it's watching, and it's weird to watch it with these feathered hands, but it's like very dexterously creating alongside bracelet, necklace, whatever you're creating.
You guys, this is wild. They literally
this is
do
wild.
anything. Okay.
Babel, was that your name?
Babel is the one in the gray, but yes, if you wanted to talk to Babel, he's separate.
No, I don't. Babel 2, Babel Blue. I'm going to call you Babel Blue. Does that work for you?
Blue.
Babel Blue. I don't know who you're making that for, but I think if you gave it to Pando, she would like it a lot.
Pando?
Pando.
And when you say Pando, it the one in the blue, who was the tropical bird sound is its name. It's like points over at Zep. Pando?
No, the dark-haired. I don't actually know what you look. Wearing green. Is that what you look like? I'm so sorry. I don't know what you look like.
I'm not Pando for the last time. That one's Pando.
That one's Pando. And
That's what I said.
She really
Pando.
likes trees. and I think she would like it a lot. But maybe you're making it for your own, like, bird person love, in which case you should totally give it to that.
Pando.
Yeah.
Pando.
Yeah.
And it points down at the necklace. Pando?
Oh. Pando. Pando.
Pando.
Pando.
Pando. And it
Yep.
holds up the half-finished necklace. Pando.
Oh, gee, thank you. It's beautiful.
And it looks at where Kashanon is, and then just starts one again, and kind of tries to catch up.
These guys are
Very
fast.
nice thing you did, tropical bird sounds.
I have a small group of them, and I've taught them to clap and stomp. And I'm doing "We Will Rock You" now with a call and response. With one group singing "We Will Rock You" and the other doing the clap.
Yeah,
and...
you've got the orange and the green right now. Blue and blue and gray are working.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. These guys are great. They're the best backing band I've ever had.
Best backing band I've ever played.
Flaren, do you think Clatch would use a belt, but the belt has hooks on it where you can put keys, you can put extra cloths to dry off the ship wheel?
Or like things like rope, maybe, or like a place for a knife.
Okay.
He
Okay.
does use a lot of claws and teeth. I don't know that he uses a lot of cloths or keys.
So something to
That's a
hold.
good idea.
Something to hold his knife and rope and maybe some other tool or weapon.
Yes.
Got it.
Probably tool over weapon, like knife to like, yeah. But I think that you should like simple. So maybe like a belt that has like just like a couple places, but you could add on if you needed something. Right? We're gonna be together, I think, for a little while, so he likes it simple first.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna retire to one of these cabins and do some reading before bed, and then bed.
What are you gonna read?
Yeah, what are you reading these days, Zeb?
I'm embarrassed about it.
You can tell us.
Don't be embarrassed.
We're a friendship group.
You can tell us anything.
One of them says friendship group.
Oh,
Aw.
okay. Well, it's a book of magic tricks, actually.
Ah.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I can do lightning bolts, but it's hard for me to do like simple card tricks and like there's a quarter behind your ear. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Performing arts in all fashion are dying out, so it's great to have somebody performing.
Honestly, I just want to trick people real good, but yeah, it's fun.
Do you have any to show us yet?
Nah, I'm not ready for that right now.
All right.
I gotta go.
All right.
Good
As
night.
you leave, the one points, Pando!
I'm gonna start smoking a J also. And
I'm burying my feet in the sand, and I'm talking about how good it feels to be on Earth, on ground right now.
The one in gray that you've met before comes over and shoves the feet in the sand and just kind of like smiles and listens.
I'll make my way to bed once I've done whatever needs to be done.
Okay. Are
Yeah,
you guys
I-
all retiring for the evening?
I was trying to read to get ready for bed. Do we each get our own little bunk?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll tell whichever bird happens to be nearest to me. I will talk to the bird about my feelings about throw pillows and tapestries and thoughts on decor of the place. And I don't know if Wet Spats wants to like get in on the suggestions about his own bivouac designing, but some sort of conversation to that end is happening.
Yeah, they repeat back. As you're kind of discussing that, you notice that when they come back, you go to sleep. There's like some of them come over and put like a little bit of flowers around both of your. Yeah, like the message seems to be received, and they seem to be happy to oblige.
This is fantastic. Thank you. You're so great.
I finish up the belt and hold it up, and when I go up to one of these little huts wherever we're staying, I kind of lay it out on the ground. So when I go into the bed, do we have beds? I forget.
Yeah, they're like little cots in there.
Okay, when I'm on the little cot, I can admire my work and admire the idea of Clatch wearing it.
Great. So any other business, or are you guys all taking your rest?
Rest.
Okay. Great. So you snuggle in.
Did we
You can hear.
set up a watch of any kind?
Mm.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
The elves.
Very good idea.
The elves should switch off 4 hours, because you guys just need to do meditation, right? Or like.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped up right now, so I'm happy to do the first shift.
I'll go second then. Yeah.
And I can jump in wherever. I'll do early morning. I'll do at tail end of whatever.
Okay. So did you want to start, Blaren, or did you want to end?
I'll end.
Okay. So Pando, you stay up, and you're just kind of like sitting and talking to one of the birds. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
21.
21. Okay. As you are, as you're watching, occasionally through the night, you hear some sounds in the jungle that sound like they would be some beasts and some things like that. And when you do, one of the creatures waddles over to into the thing, and then will answer it back with a different sound. And with your perception check, you kind of get the sense that they are scaring creatures off by pretending to be other creatures. You also notice that while the night goes on, some of them leave you. So there's only like 2 with you or 1 with you at a time, and then they'll cycle out. They seem to be keeping their own watch on you. You do notice, too, with your perception check, that occasionally you get the sense that they're looking at your stuff and are kind of interested in it. Never going and directly investigating, but with that high of a perception roll, you notice that some of them are kind of like looking in to things. So if there's anything you want to communicate, you can communicate. If you just want to say, I tell what you just said to Kashanon as we switch watches, that's fine. If you want to have any role playing during that, that's fine too. You can do that.
I tell Kashanon that.
Okay.
That's for Chop. Hey, Kashanon, that just happened. It's happening now.
Wow. So they're like looking out for us?
Or keeping watch of us.
Huh. All right.
Kashanon, roll a perception check at advantage with that information. Roll twice, take the better.
Gotcha. 11.
11?
Yeah.
You notice what Pando has been saying, but you kind of get distracted by them a little bit. They're super cute. You might watch one for a little bit. You kind of notice that they're like getting your breakfast ready and things like that. It's kind of nice to just be in this like little quiet place. It's kind of pretty. Kind of reminds you a little bit of like some of the resorts that you used to go to when you were growing up as a rich kid, and in Aegeon. And it's nice, but this is kind of more authentic, and you kind of like it, and it feels better because it's your own. Vlaren eventually joins you for the watch, so you might talk a little bit more. If you guys want to role play, you can, but I think you had your conversations. You might talk a little bit more about that. You notice a few sounds here and there, but it seems to be mainly a peaceful night. What's bat snoring rather loudly, and occasionally one of the little birds will go by that and mimic the sound of that, and then they kind of laugh to each other and they mimic it to each other, and they enjoy it.
Anything I need to know?
No, it's pretty peaceful. It's kind of nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of your trance.
All right. Thanks.
So you guys wake up in the morning. It's 9:47. So if you guys want to have any more role playing, that's fine. But we'll probably start winding down.
I would like to give whatever Babblebird is with me. I will take the flowers that they decorate my room with, make a bouquet, and like whatever Babblebird has the watch with me. I'll hand.
Okay. They take it and they like it, kind of say some of the phrases that you had said back to them, and like kind of notice that they've done that. It's nice. And these are like 5 foot tall birds. So some of you who are like more elf size and stuff, they're short, but they're not that much short. Like by comparison, like they're here, and like What's Bats is here. Like he's smaller. They're pretty big little dudes. As I said, we'll probably be wrapping up for the night tonight. But if you guys want to think about anything you want to do for the morning, they do have breakfast laid out for you. And this will also be level 4 for you guys. So as you start establishing this, we'll do that in level up in between sessions. But on that sleep, you guys will be level 4.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Nice.
Which I think for many of you is an ability score improvement level, which means that you can add 2 points, either spread out between 2 of your stats or 1 to your abilities and make you better at something. You can also take a feat, which are listed in the player's handbook, which you can find on D&D Beyond, which are just like a little talent that makes your character better at something. So we can talk about that again over the week, but just as a heads up.
Nice. Well, thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay, so where you guys don't want to do anything for the morning, you guys are good to wrap up?
Yeah, I don't think we have a clear enough idea of why we're here.
Okay, cool. Then we are going to go ahead and wrap it up for the evening. This is just roll with it. Around 9 o'clock, we had 2 viewers. That was a while ago. You didn't stay. It was only for a few seconds, but I hope you liked it. Just roll with it. Here's the end. Watch those little hands, okay? Great. We ended.
Yay.